Read my lips, America. No commander taxes. That's right. Somehow Derevi, Empyrial Tactician, has showed up on Arena, a famously busted commander. And of course, the big eggheads, the giant brains over at the Competitive Brawl Discord have brewed up an absolutely busted version of this busted commander. We're going to play it today. It's Derevi, Empyrial Tactician. Let's go. Welcome to the Attic Mana Dad here. It's the channel where we explore what's fun in Magic, mostly on Arena, but of course, Derevi, popular in paper, classic paper commander, now on Arena, famously busted. Let's take a look at this legendary bird wizard. Derevi Empyrial Tactician costs 3, but if you skip down to the end there, for 4, 1 and a Bant, green, white, blue, put Derevi onto the battlefield from the command zone. That means at instant speed, y'all. You can see. So this is like a Bant control guy. It's like the tactician in the name is very apt because I've been testing this deck out and it's like kind of blowing my mind how complex you can get the interactions, because its other ability is whenever it enters or actually a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, and it is flying, so it's going to get through sometimes. You may tap or untap target permanent. So common play pattern, flash it in when they're about to attack, tap down one of their attackers. Then next turn, hit them. You can untap a land. If you have a couple creatures, you can untap a bunch of lands. So you can play a bunch of stuff, then untap all your lands. Or you can use it to just untap enough to keep a counterspell open. It's cool. It's cool. It's tricky. It's definitely worth watching the gameplay. I'm actually recording this video a second time because I want to give proper credit. This deck is from the Competitive Brawl Discord. So the big brains who come up with like the most competitive build for a commander. Definitely recommend you go and check it out and subscribe. But this deck, they said it's played by a player called Sakana. And I'm going to link the Sakana's deck list. But the deck list itself was posted by a Mortrid99. So I'm not sure if this is a deck designed by Mortrid, played by Sakana, or this is just Mortrid posting Sakana's list. But anyways, check out the Competitive Brawl Discord, read through all the comments on the deck, which I did not have the time or inclination as a busy dad to do, and learn more about it. But we're going to talk through what I understand of the deck. I'm going to give you a basic understanding. You can watch the games, get more understanding. And then for those of you who want to dive deeper, go on the Competitive Brawl Discord, and I'll put a link in the description as I usually do. Stick around to the end of the video to see the real win rate of the deck, not just the games I was able to fit into the video. So what do we got here? It's going to be some Competitive Brawl staples. We got cheap removal like Swords to Plowshares and Swords to Plowshares' cousin, Solitude. We got counter spells like an Offer You Can't Refuse, Flusterstorm, Miscast, Spell Pierce, Spell Snare, Swan Song. Stuff that can get through and start accruing value like Tameo, Inquisitive Student. We got Mana Dorks, Avacyn's Pilgrim, Birds of Paradise, Delight Halfling, Elvish Mystic, Llanowar Elves, Kami Bamboo Groves will help us ramp, Utopia Sprawl will help us ramp. Veil of Summer, tricky one here for just playing in the regular Brawl queues, but of course in Competitive Brawl, this is a completely valid card. Blind Obedience is an interesting pick here. 2-mana enchantment, artifacts and creatures your opponent's control enter tapped. What this is suggesting to me, because it has the Extort, which lets you do drains as you cast stuff, it's like a grind them out / tempo, because their stuff's going to come into play tapped. And if we're ramping and getting our commander down early enough, this could be an advantage. That's my thinking on it anyway. Cyclonic Rift, I'll put that over here because that's more of a finisher, but we can definitely use it just for the bounce value. More counter spells, Dazzling Denial, Lofty Denial. Dazzling Denial, you should note our commander is a bird. And our commander flies. So those both get better with our commander. We've got Malcolm, a Siren Pirate here. Memory Lapse, Negate, Reasonable Doubt, which is an interesting counter spell, but it's just what it was called, Make Disappear or whatever, but with the suspect added. So your creatures are more likely to get through and trigger Derevi. Counterspell, Mana Drain. There's some interesting stuff here going on with +1/+1 counters. I think Bristly Bill is also meant to kind of be a finisher with that ability, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. So you kind of get it out, you get some counters spread around on a couple creatures, then you Alpha Strike. I think that's kind of what they're going for. That Springheart and Antuco is going to make a bigger board by making insects or copying your Mana Dorks, Roaring Earth. Of course, Priests of Titania is classic in the CEDH world. Going to get better in any kind of competitive environment where everybody's casting their Land of War Elves and Elvish Mystics. Dovin's Veto, No More Lies, just hitting all the things. Then we have like this package here. We got Neoform, Finale of Devastation, Invasion of Ikoria, Chord of Calling, and Eldritch Evolution. All these things that are going to fetch up creatures. It's a little confusing to me exactly what we're trying to do with that. We have a little bit of toolbox, but not a lot. We've got like Tishana's Tidebinder we can kind of fetch up, or Nadu, I think, is the main one you're supposed to be fetching up. You can use Chord of Calling, of course, Uro if you need that value. But then we got Savine's Reclamation to get some of these guys back. I don't see a deterministic combo. I think it's just value combo with Nadu, because Nadu gets triggered by our commander, so we can trigger a ton of times with it and just win with value. Of course, we can also play the One Ring and untap the One Ring and draw more cards, and untap the One Ring and draw more cards, and go crazy with that. There's Teferi Time Raveler and Wandering Emperor, just classic, Teferi Hero of Dominaria, classic control value cards here. And at the very top end, Discover the Formula. Might not be familiar with this one. An alchemy card. Seek 3 non-land cards. The non-land cards in your hand perpetually gain. This spell costs 1 less to cast. So it's a 6 mana draw, 3 guaranteed gas cards. Chromatic Orrery is just a busted thing to untap. So there's that. And what else can I tell you? I guess I skipped over. There's one more alchemy guy here that I wasn't personally familiar with. Leaf Leap Guide. 1/1 vigilance, but whenever another creature you control enters, it and that creature perpetually get +1/+1. And then it has this ability to return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. So all our ETB creatures, I guess, we can get extra value out of. And because it's vigilance, we can attack with it and then do the bounce, or use the bounce to save something. It's an interesting card. I did get to play with it when I was testing, and it was working pretty well. So I don't know. It's not one I've seen a lot, but fun and different to play around with. So without me jabbering on too much more, I do recommend watching the games here and seeing how this works. Is there anything I want to say about the... I guess the only thing I would say about the mana base is there's a Nykthos in here, which is interesting. But I think it's all about getting to enough mana to tutor out a Crater Hoof Behemoth with like Chord of Calling or Invasion or Finale of Devastation after we've made a decent board with all our Mana Dorks and these little flyer guys and value creatures. I think that's what either Sakana or Mortrid or both are going for with this. But hopefully we can get a little more info in the comments here. I know people in the community are very good at educating me and everybody else when I make a video. So do recommend you check out the Brawl Discord. And with that, let's go and see some matches.
Hey, it's me, Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Actually, haunting and overlording are just my hobbies. My day job is managing the YouTube algorithm. I try to make sure lots of negative, conspiracy-laden clickbait shows up in your feed. Nightmare fuel. Whatever you do, don't like, comment, or elder gods forbid, subscribe to a channel like this one, okay? We don't need your feed filled up with people who genuinely enjoy playing Magic like this so-called Manadad. He puts deck lists and other useful links in the description. He even shows real win rate stats at the end of the videos. Yikes. Clicking on positive, helpful videos takes away from the time I could be spending haunting woods or putting my friend Writhing Chrysalis into draft boosters. But you don't have to take it from me. 9 out of 10 players who want to unban grief agree. Now let's see. What is your racist uncle clicking on today? He has impeccable taste. Let me send some of those videos your way.
Vroom Vroom playing Derevi up against Don King playing the first sliver. Tough deck. Tough deck. I was testing out, I lost to a first sliver deck that managed to get a couple board wipes. Grind me out that way. Man, do we just mulligan this? Doesn't look like the best hand. Okay, I think we can keep this one. Yeah, let's just go with the Cameo of the Bamboo Grows. Leading into Hinterland Harbor. So we can put down Derevi. And then just untack and need something with probably white and blue. Get a Hallowed Fountain. Untap. Attack. Untap my other blue source. Thank you. And the turn. Over to you, 1 mana first sliver. Planar Genesis. I think it's worth slowing him down. Yeah. Okay, that was my revenge against first sliver. It's a control deck, but because it actually wins through combat damage, it doesn't take forever necessarily. So that's cool. With this, the way this is designed, there you can go through the thread on the Brawl Discord and see see other ways people have designed it. Go with the ramp into Freyalise. Would be nice to get counterspell mana going, but I don't even look at what we're playing. We're up against Grenzo Crooked Jailer. When it enters and at the beginning of your upkeep, you heist the library and you can pay stuff for free. Well, that's not great. I guess we want to have counterspell up by the time Grenzo comes down. Let's just play this as a land. And what do we do? Seek an elf? Let's go to minus. But we might eventually want that Regal Force. I'm going to untap the elf. Leave up Veil of Summer. Who knows what Grenzo is up to? Counterspell, cut down. How about not? Should have seen that coming, opponent. Sun Petal Grove. We do control a forest. I think we want another blue source, though, right? So, oh, but this can't get a blue source. I mean, I can get blue-green. So let's at least have No More Lies available. And then we'll attack for 2. Untap.
You underestimate our strength.
And the turn. If they don't give us anything to hit with No More Lies, we've got Derevi. Dragon Skull Summit. Let's give Derevi a try. Thing is, if they waste removal on it, we'll just cast it again for 4 mana. Looks like they want to hit Freyalise. They're going to bedevil Freyalise while we're tapped out. Okay.
You've only stopped one member of a stampede.
It's an Arid Mesa. Let's play that. Attack and just untap our guys. It's because it's a May ability. It makes you click yes every time. Snow-covered swamp. Roaming throne. Nah, probably not. And we don't need Grenzo to get doubled up. Let's see. So we don't have any Surveil lands in this deck, which is one thing I would probably change if it was my choice. If I was building it. Of course, I'm not as smart as the people who build these decks, so... we are really flooding out, though.
Here comes the flood. You're running dry.
Shieldred. If I counter Shieldred, then I don't probably get to counter Grenzo, but possibly if I counter Shieldred, they just give up. Let's see. Misty Rainforest. Not super helpful, man. They are down to 8. They need a draw spell or something. Let me see if there is... Aha, there is a Surveil land. We just couldn't get it with the last thing. Verdant Catacombs, no. We don't need the more land. Proxa. Nope. Ragavan. And oh, a draw. I asked for a draw spell. Got a draw spell. Let's start drawing. They're actually going to block the Mystic. Okay. See if we can hit a blue source. Opponent. There you go. Oh, not a blue source, though. Okay. Well, they're down to 6. Here comes Grenzo. What do they hit? Oh, because of one ring, they hit nothing. Oh, snap. Oh, wow. You get nothing. Good day, sir.
Yeah, well, sometimes nothing can be a real cool hand.
Guess we'll keep Snapcaster around. To bring back Counterspell, potentially. We can take out Grenzo. This should be game over, depending on what they got for 1 mana. We can possibly counter it. Look at 1 card in hand. Yep. Take that, Grenzo. Ooh, another hated card. Mythweaver Poke. Poke. I feel like there's like, you know, that way you can like kind of snap a K. I don't, maybe not, I can snap a K, but some people can't. Mythweaver Poke. Poke. Yeah, like a K in another language. Like Greek or Arabic or something. Those special snappy Ks. Uvular K, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a linguist. We got Utopia Sprawl, which we can put on our Temple Garden. So I'm going to go with keeping. And that Snappy. Oh, they're out the gates too with their 1 mana ramp. Pay 2 life. And I don't know, what should we do? Blue? Now this land can do anything. 3 mana ramp. The Mythweaver, the Tireless Provisioner. The problem with trying to stop Polk is they're just going to ramp and they'll be able to cast them again. It can only slow them down. So but we can play our commander now. And untap the land that taps for 2. We can reasonably doubt something. This might be our last chance to actually counterspell something with reasonable doubt, so just got to fire it off. Oh, suspect up to 1 creature. Okay, we'll suspect Derevi. And opponent! Wow. All right. On the hunt for a deck that can compete. Competitive Derevi will be Karamonix the Rat King. Remind me what that guy does. That's a fun one, right? Oh, yeah. Toxic 1. Other rats have Toxic 1. When it enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can reveal any number of rat cards. So they can do like the Relentless Rats thing. Put them into your hands with the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. All right. Well, Chromatic Orrery... not super useful, but I think we'll keep it. We got Elvish Mystic. On turn 1, we can Bristly Bill. Put up a Otawara to have Flusterstorm available. Or just a Darkar Wastes. What should we buff up? How about a Mystic? Rat Colony. That can have any number of rat colonies, and they certainly do. Okay. What? Tap this. Bring out Fraileys. Untap this.
Only just harmony with nature is our greatest strength.
Prismatic Vista, or do we want to be sure we have Flusterstorm, I think. Make one of these available to block the rat colony. No attacks. Chances are they got more rat colonies, though. Where you wish you had the board wipe that gives everything -1/-1. Okay, they're coming at Fraileys. We could lose both our creatures, or we just lose Fraileys, I think. Sorry, Fraileys. Ah!
The elves will try,
It's,
even in my absence.
would have been better if I if I triggered that a little faster. Okay, so Spara's headquarters at some point. Could have just build up to Chromatic Orrery. I guess without the ability to untap the Elvish Mystic. We're a bit slower there. That, we get a forest. Pass the turn. Duress. think that's kind of okay. What do they take? They'd probably take the Flusterstorm. Flusterstorm's not going to stop the duress. They could take the Orrery or the Finale. Those are just those are win cons. They're not helping us get to the win con point yet. And they play Chiromonix. They made sure the coast was clear. Let's see how many. Let's put Derevi in. Tap down one attacker. Do they dare attack with all three? They do. So if we just get these guys all off the board, I mean, they're going to play even more rat colonies. I don't really see a good way out of it, though. Flooded Strand, not super helpful. Put this into play tapped. We could Finale for something that's 2 mana. Like Bristly Bill. Maybe that's what you're supposed to Finale for. It's just get a Bristly Bill and then pump your whole team. Sure, exactly. Fortunately, this is a 2/3, so Chiromonix is going to get through. Key to the Archive. Okay, they don't add rats. That's good. We're going to ditch a rat to go get some powerful busted card. So that's what Key to the Archive does. And let's put Derevi in. Oh yes, did I mention Derevi still only costs 4 mana? No rat for you. Miscast. Instant or sorcery. Not super helpful. That's the turn. Wicker Wing Effigy. You may look at the top cover of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. When you cast a creature spell from your library, it becomes a black bird. In addition, as flying, base power and toughness 1/1. Well, we can block birds, so there's that. And they do cast a rat off the top. And tap it down your Karumon. We're holding back the tide. This is a tricky deck. They might have removal here. In which case miscast is going to be nice. This is their last card. It's whatever they got off the Key to the Archive. Oh, they're just playing another rat. Annoying. We don't really have board wipes in the deck, do we? It's not really a thing in competitive Brawl. Okay, well, let's surveil. Fairy Hero of Dominaria. Great when you're ahead on board. 5 mana draw a card, though. that what we want? Let's risk it for the biscuit. It was a land. Okay, well. Finale for 3, maybe? Search library. We can get Adeline. We can get Uro. We can get Nadu. Yeah, I like Nadu. And that rat colony is 3-1, huh? They probably block. Yeah, they do. Right. Back to the command zone with ye. Vanquisher's Banner, okay. That gets them through Nadu, which is not great. And we only have things that counter instants and sorceries, so we couldn't stop it. Alright. We'll trade for a rat. I think the rats might have us beat. I think we finally met our match with Caramonics. Onto Monument. Colony. They're gonna draw, they're gonna drain. Everything's coming up. Rat Kings. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Yeah, this is where you need the board wipe. This deck would absolutely fold to the board wipe, but now it's just popping off. Let's give them a nice. They just keep going here. Okay, finally passing to attackers. Tap down your Caramonics. They can actually only attack with this guy, which we can just trade. I believe we can also shoot Derevi back. Play here. Tap down one of your flyers. And another land, no!
Here comes the flood. You're running dry.
GG's. Up against Roxanne. It's a pretty good card, right? 4/3, but it makes meteorites. Then it doubles your mana rocks. So we have some ways to counter mana rocks. Don't have green. I guess we can get green with Blue Delta. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. Pass the turn. Maybe we're supposed to get green there, actually. They bushwhack for whatever. Let's go get that surveil land that we have in here. Otawara. I'll keep it. Put into play what? The Agon? Do we want to keep the Agandro in hand, maybe? Alright, we'll put into play Rawara and Play it out of car wastes. Fake them out. Wayfarer's Bob. Well, put in Derevi and just untap something. Guess that's what we want to do. Tap that too. Yeah, let's get the ledger shredder going. This doesn't hit artifacts, so we're kind of hoping they have a 2-mana mana rock. Goblin and Narcomancer. Well, there we go. 2-mana ramp. Finale of Devastation. Okay, I think what we want to do is we're holding full control. Those go on the stack. Right, can we tap them? How do I draw all my mana? Did I not do full control soon enough? And then tap you for blue, tap you for blue, tap you for white, then resolve all. And discover the formula. Turn off full control. And end the turn. That's pretty nice. It's Dazzling Denial should be especially nice. Ancient Cornucopia. Yeah, stop it. Keep their mana rocks off the battlefield. And again with the Solitude, I mean, I could just flash it in. All right, so let's go full control again. Untap all of these lands. Tap, tap, tap. Resolve all. Solitude. Commit 0, I think. All right, Roxanne. They can kill the Solitude. So maybe maybe that was a punt.
From the end zone, he punts it. Oh my goodness, this could be the longest punt in Super Bowl history.
I don't think I've been that excited for a punt. What a punt.
This is another commander that kind of cheats on mana. Yeah, we're just not drawing. We could neoform the Kami into a mana dork, I suppose. Can I tap them now? Oh, wait. Decline. Decline. Okay. Screwed that up. Malcolm. We just want Priest of Titania. Oh, but we wanted something with 3 toughness, actually. So I just cast the commander. Drat. Yeah. Screwed that up. Okay, now we can get Nadu. Now we should be off to the races. The opponent's got big mana. Big mana here. Paradox Engine. Wow. Wish this hit artifacts. What do we want to get? Yes, we've already got our Surveil. What can they do with all this mana? Ooh, okay. Lose Veil of Summer. Heaped Harvest. So far they're just using it to ramp. That's good. Doubling Season. How about now? We don't need to double any seasons. You please. What's their last card? Go face. This will just no blocks here. Get back from our graveyard. Savin, get back anything? I guess we can back the Priest of Titania, which will just shoot down again. Cyclonic Rift. Oof. All right, here we go. If opponent doesn't scoop after this, I don't know what would make him do it. Get 2 triggers. Target, submit, target, submit. Tap for blue. Tap for blue. Resolve. Take action. Resolve. Take action. And then overloaded Cyclonic Rift. Resolve. And also play an Avacyn's Pilgrim, because why not? At this point, forget the Savin's Reclamation. There it is. There's the scoop. Derevi popping off. Here are your stats. An excellent 73% win rate. Surprisingly better on the draw than on the play. And we got a decent amount of games in here. 11 games in an hour and 15. Faced a number of scoops from opponent. Did get some losses. So I figured out this is Jetmir, Nexus of the Revels we lost to. This was Karamonix, the Rat King. And we lost to a Jace. But those two are like spam the board with creatures, and we're not really set up to face decks like that because this deck list isn't, because it's a competitive Brawl deck list. But you could modify it more for just competing against your average decks. But as you can see, we beat some pretty good commanders. We beat Atali, we beat Mythweaver Puck, some of the ones that you see all the time. Grenzo, 2-0 versus Grenzo. Pretty good, I'd say. In terms of the deck, other than adding board wipes, I think I would like some more utility creatures. If you're going to keep in Eldritch Evolution, Chord of Calling, Invasion of Ikoria, Finale of Devastation. This is like CEDH stuff that's for like a combo, and I don't necessarily see the combo. There's sort of non-deterministic stuff with Nadu, which is kind of how I was using it, but might have to go back to the Discord and read more. It's just too long to read it all the commentary on this commander, but read more to figure out what is going on exactly, and maybe put in one more of the Surveil lands so we have that as an option with all the fetches. But other than that, pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how this deck performed. So leave a comment. Let me know all the mistakes that I made. I'm sure some of you have already started typing it, which is good because we'll all learn from it. And other than that, this is Manadad reminding you Magic is a game so fun, even dads can enjoy it. Adios.